my honor tonight to speak for my lifelong friend, Mike Allen. Mike, always the best dressed man in the house, and tonight he didn't disappoint. You still are tonight, Mike. Well, let me start off the story from Hall of Fame official, his friend Chuck Yagler. Chuck says, first let me congratulate Mike on his induction into the Hall of Fame. I was very fortunate to travel with Mike to many tournaments all over the United States. Mike was a great mentor for me in my officiating career. The story took place in the 1999 Big Ten Wrestling Championships in Ann Arbor, Michigan. We had 10 officials working 4 minutes, with the first session starting on a Saturday at 10 a.m. If you're familiar with the facilities at Michigan, they have the Chrysler Arena hosting the tournament, and it was situated right next to the Michigan football stadium. I'm the head official for the tournament, so responsible for making the mat assignments for the officials. They put all the officials in a separate locker room, which was located underneath the stands of the football stadium and connected to the Chrysler Arena by a tunnel. Since I'm the head official, they give me a key for access to our locker room. All 10 officials head over to the arena at 9:45 a.m. to get warmed up and to get ready for the matches to start promptly at 10 a.m. I make the mat assignments at 9:50 a.m. Mike comes over to me asking for the key to the locker room so he can use the bathroom. I give Mike the key and, of course, expect him to be right back. You see, some officials are known for taking longer breaks than others, but that was never Mike Allen, as he worked as hard or harder than anyone. But pretty soon it was 10 a.m. and no Mike. Then it was 10:10, no Mike. I'm starting to get concerned, and finally, about 10:20 a.m., Mike shows up without the key to the locker room. It turns out that when Mike entered the locker room, he just left the key in the door and it slammed shut behind him. It was locked with no way for Mike to open it from the inside. Mike looked around and found a window he could open in the locker room and crawl through, and after crawling through the window, Mike is now inside the football stadium. The football stadium has a 10-foot chain-link fence around the entire stadium. Keep in mind, Mike is wearing a striped shirt and climbs the fence so he can get back to the arena. He then has to go to the spectators' entrance of Chrysler Arena and, of course, has no ticket. He had to explain his dilemma to the gate security people and beg his way back into the arena. Just one of many stories while traveling with Mike. All right, I love this former interview with Mike. And so I'm using a former interview, but man, this is so awesome. And Mike, this is from Mike. Mike Allen was blessed with 2 families while making his mark as a young man in Waterloo and later as a 2-sport athlete at the University of Northern Iowa. Mike said, I had my biological family growing up in Waterloo, and then I also had another family of great coaches who gravitated toward me. An all-state football player and accomplished wrestler at Waterloo East, he became an all-conference wrestler and all-conference football player at UNI. He went on to become one of the most acclaimed wrestling officials in the nation. Allen added another accolade to a distinguished resume when he was inducted into the Ken Kraft Midlands Championship Hall of Fame. It's one of many honors Allen accrued in his 35-year officiating career, including joining the National Wrestling Hall of Fame and the Iowa High School Athletic Association Wrestling Hall of Fame. Mike Allen was the first African American to work the state finals in Iowa, the Big Ten finals, and the NCAA finals. He attributes much of his success to family. Betty and Willie Allen were the best parents. They set strong family values, were very religious, and they also set educational values. My mom got her degree from Gates College in Waterloo, and it was stressed to us that my 3 brothers and 2 sisters and I all do the same. All of us got our college degrees because of the values set by our parents. Allen showed that dedication to education, spending 28 years as a school principal and also serving as athletic director at his alma mater at East Waterloo. Betty Allen, his mom, reach was long. She was very active in the Waterloo Women's Civic Club and started the Betty Allen Scholarship in 1950. That still is handed out today to low-income families and local groups. Mike said, I didn't need role models like Charles Barkley. Allen said, I had my mom and my dad. I didn't need to look at Willie Mays or Hank Aaron. My dad and mom were the Martin Luther King Jr. and Coretta King of our neighborhood. Allen said his dad went to work early every morning and wrapped packing, and he knew what he had to do. And he was a great role model. Mike wrapped himself up into sports playing football at a time when Waterloo East posted its famous 57-game winning streak. He went on to Ellsworth Community College and eventually played football and wrestled at UNI for legendary coaches Stan Sheriff and Chuck Packman. They truly were my second family, Mike said. They didn't want me to miss a class or miss a practice. If I did, somehow they knew right away and would seek me out and let me know. A non-traditional student, Mike was married at 18, had 2 children by the time he got into UNI in 1970. He earned a bachelor's degree in physical education and health, and later added a master's degree in elementary school administration. Allen was serving as an assistant wrestling coach at Waterloo Central High School for head coach Gene Luttrell when he was presented a new opportunity. I was coaching with Gene, and I was questioning some calls made on the mat by some of these officials. Gene said, if you think you can do better, you should take the officiating test. And he did, and so his journey began. He started officiating in the middle schools of the Cedar Valley and small towns around northeast Iowa. His first big match came when Hall of Fame coach Bob Siddons of West Waterloo was double booked and called Allen to see if he would officiate the Oregon State-Iowa State match at Hilton Coliseum, January 19, 1981. And he jumped at the opportunity. Mike had a huge presence on the mat. And, he appears intimidating sometimes, but he stood out as the best official in the country, and the wrestling community recognized him for his work. Mike went on to work 23 NCAA Division I championships and was inducted to the National Wrestling Hall of Fame before retiring in 2009. Mike worked 20 Iowa High School Championship finals and voted Iowa Wrestling Official of the Year in 1980, 1987, 1982, and was inducted to the Iowa Officials Wrestling Hall of Fame in 2003. Mike also served as coordinator of wrestling officials for the Big Ten, the Big 12, and the Mid-American Conference. You did good, brother. Let's congratulate Mike Allen, our 144th inductee to the Iowa Wrestling Hall of Fame.